Welcome everybody to what is, I guess, to be considered the inaugural episode of Flick Talk, our podcast about movies. This kind of is a thing that's been building up for a while now. It's been, like, I've always wanted to do a podcast of sorts, and I felt that, like, I had to find the right person for it. So, it is with great pleasure that I introduced my co-host, Jess.
What's up?
So, Jess and I have been friends for a very long time, and I remember the first time we actually, like, hung out was probably the point where I realized this could be a thing. Because I don't know if you remember it, but it was when we were in the Hard Rock Cafe, and we were basically just kind of, like, shooting the shit, and we ended up talking about, like, Marvel movies for an hour.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
I remember that, and then all of a sudden, like, being like, all right, let's pay for our food, and I just pulled out these just fucking dollar coins to the waitress. You're like, sorry.
I was so angry because, like, I used to wait tables, and, like, when people hand you dollar coins, like, you're kind of like, well, I want to take them because they're cool, but they're just gonna make my, like, whole apron just weigh down because they're so fucking heavy. Oh, I hate this.
That was the exact feeling, but that's what happens when you, like, are just coming off the train. So you're just like, yeah, I feel like a shitty person, but here you go. Here's your money.
Because the LIR doesn't do anything but dollar coins back, which is the weirdest fucking shit, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking nonsensical. So you guys understand what the name of the podcast is about. Basically, I am a huge movie buff, and so is Jess. Jess has also worked. We both have shows that are about analysis of certain things. She has a show about like the mediocrity of the golden age of film.
Yeah, I have two shows. I have my normal one, Fool's Gold, where I look at old Hollywood movies that people think are good, but they're terrible as crap. And I have just recently started, back last year at the end of last year, beginning of this year, I started my new series called Superhero Rundown, where I actually look at TV shows, and starting with Ant-Man over the summer, also the Marvel and superhero movies, and basically, like, looking at them from a cultural studies perspective. So it's mostly for my MA, but whatever.
You could pull that off on your MA. That's fantastic.
Well, my entire MA is basically me talking about superhero movies and how awesome they are and why their values are being translated from comic books. But
like, that's like me trying to get an MA and using Breaking Bad as a analysis point. Be like, yo, let's talk about how this guy cooks meth.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, actually.
I would fucking kill to do that.
So basically, I narrowed it down. I literally, I actually had a thing on Twitter a while ago and said, hey, I'm going to name my thesis Go. And I came up with the best one.
Which was?
Thor, or how your hair escapes static cling when you're the Norse god of thunder.
That's fantastic.
And I was like, I need to write this. Like, this has got to be the center of the thesis. So when Thor Ragnarok comes out, I can say, see, now he's starting to get static cling, and that's why the end of the world is happening.
That's like my favorite. That's easily my favorite name for a fucking Thor movie. Because I'm just like, oh my
god, I'm so excited.
That's one of my favorites now, just because I was like, all right, what are they going to do? Ragnarok. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I actually did a superhero rundown on the Marvel announcing event on, like, when they announced all of Phase 3, and I was, like, I also speculated about X-Men Apocalypse and why Channing Tatum is Gambit for some reason. But, yeah, that's pretty much, like, that's all a superhero rundown is basically all of superhero comics. I will, however, not be doing Gotham, because
Gotham is, I'm sorry, as much as people love that show, I cannot get into Gotham at all. Like, it's no Batman.
Yeah, my thing is if it's supposed to be, even if it's supposed to be a prequel, we all know what it leads up to. It leads up to fucking Batman.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, if you don't grab me within the first episode,
then it's fucking over.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking have anything to do with you. Now, with Arrow, Arrow was a slow buildup, but still in the first episode, like you saw a bunch of crap that I was like, okay, I could totally get on board with this. Flash, I think, is one of the most perfect pilots ever.
I have to watch it still.
One of the most perfect pilots in terms of like genre superheroes.
Oh, like setting up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like Agent Carter. I'm also doing Agent Carter, and a lot of people don't know about this series, but I friggin' loved it, and I'm really sad it was only 14 episodes long. But NBC's Constantine.
Oh, fuck, Constantine. Oh, my God.
I fucking adore Constantine.
Isn't that coming back as, like, Hellblazer now? Like, I think Sci-Fi picked it up.
I think so, and as long as Matt Ryan continues to be, Constantine, I'm cool with it. Let's do it.
I want to look it up, but I think fucking Hellblazer is what it's turning into.
Which is fine, because that was, like, one of the series he was doing anyway.
Yeah.
So,
sorry,
that
I'm
was
just moving down my mic.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. But yeah, it was like one of those things where I was like, Constantine, oh my God. And my mom fucking loves it. My mom is like, well, like, me and my mom, like, we watched the first episode, and I literally looked at her, and she looked at me, and she said, this is a superhero? And I'm like, well, he's not, he's not a superhero, like, conventionally. He's a superhero in that he kind of just, is magical and kicks demon ass. Like, kind of like Doctor Strange. How Doctor Strange is not exactly a superhero until he became the Sorcerer Supreme.
He's like an anti-hero, so to speak.
Yeah, and Constantine's an anti-hero, and she's like, he's kind of an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, that's how most anti-heroes work, as like a trope. And she was like, okay, so we watched the second and the third episode, and she's like, okay, I'm really digging this series. And I'm like, yeah. And then like the last episode aired in like February before I came and moved to Maryland. And she was like, that's it? What the hell? And I
love that feeling of like the cliffhanger happens and you're just like, what the fuck?
Especially with given what happened, which I won't spoil it for people because I know there are a few of my friends who will probably listen to this and say, why are you spoiling it for me? I haven't watched it yet. So I'm not going to spoil what happens in the ending, like at the ending cliffhanger or whatever. I will say that it literally spawned. I stood up. I threw a pillow across the room. Like my mom literally looked at me. She actually moved my water glass 5 feet to the left.
Did you like regather your shit and be like, oh, what just happened? I blacked out.
No, I literally was like, no, you need to, because she has a DVR. So it was like, no, you need to rewind it. I need to watch it again. So I watched it again and I was like, holy fuck, you guys! And my mom's like, it's only us, so there's no guys.
Have you watched, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting, but have you watched Hannibal at all?
I have not, but I've heard good things.
Basically, that feeling you're having is like the ending of season 2 of Hannibal. That exact sentiment. I was fucking shocked and fucking angry, and I had to call someone afterwards. I had to call my friend Dan and be like, did that shit really just happen?
No, and it's really funny, too, because then I found out, they were like, oh, well, NBC's not picking it up. And I'm like, why? Like, I literally was like, I can't, what? No.
Yeah, no, that's the thing with NBC, because Hannibal's also on NBC as well. But, and that's weird, considering they are they're all on board. Yeah, no, they are all on board, by the way, with renewing Hannibal and stuff like that. Which is
not Constantine.
Yeah, which is
or
fucked
Community.
up. That's a fucked up show.
So they got rid of Community and they got rid of Constantine, which are probably one of two of their best pulling shows for two different genres. And then you're gonna tell me, oh no, fuck it, we're gonna get rid of those two shows. Community is gonna go to Yahoo, and fucking Constantine is gonna go to Sci-Fi, which I don't mind because at least with Sci-Fi, like I know like cult classics like that are going.
Those are gonna do well.
Right? Yeah, those are gonna be treated right. So I can be completely fine with that. But in terms of like keeping Hannibal, now I don't know a lot about Hannibal. I do know like people who watch it, and they're like, you gotta watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, you gotta watch it from the beginning. It's like one of those. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's a tough sit just because of like how brutal the show is, but you're gonna grow to love the main characters. Like they are fantastic at what they do.
Okay, now I'm gonna pull a little bit back here and say things about. Okay, so my favorite shows on television that I like that are of the horror / fantasy genre currently, which do not include any of the superhero genres right now, are well, Constantine sort of counts as both. So
yeah, no, that counts. That counts. That counts.
So Constantine, Penny Dreadful of all things.
I heard about that show. Actually, I heard about it from what is it? There was a trailer that played at the movie theater about Penny Dreadful, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Timothy Dalton, who used to play James Bond and was Rassilon in Doctor Who, is now a fucking guy in Penny Dreadful who, like, I haven't watched it all. Like, I only watched the first episode, but I, like, really got into it, and I was really excited about it, you know? And my other, like, giant fantasy thing that, like, my three other fantasy things are Doctor Who, BBC Musketeers, which just ended its second season, and holy shit, that fucking bullshit is awesome. And Game of Thrones, which we all know everybody fucking loves Game of Thrones.
I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not that one guy. I'm not the one guy. But I've only watched up to season 2 for reasons.
Dude, season 5 is about to start.
I know, but
together.
the reasons are valid because I walked in on my dad watching it, and I walked in on the fucking purple wedding.
Oh, you didn't see the red wedding?
No, well, I know of the red wedding. I know everyone's talked about it. I know what happens.
The red wedding, well, here's the weird thing.
No, I know, it's one of the most shocking moments in TV history.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, if you've read the books, like, it's weird. And I know a lot of people are going to comment and say, hey, well, you can't do that because George R.R. Martin said don't compare the books to the TV series, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be like, all right, listen, here's the thing, though. The TV series made it way more shocking than in the book because the TV series basically. Do you mind the spoiler? Because everybody.
Okay, let's just put a huge spoiler. I'm gonna put a huge spoiler tag over this entire podcast because we shoot the shit about movies. That's what we do. This is kind of how our interactions work. So there's bound to be spoilers. I don't care. It's fine.
Okay,
Go.
So anyway, so in the Red Wedding in the book, Robb Stark's wife is not actually at the Red Wedding. She's still in.
Wait. So it's a wedding and there's no wife at the wedding?
Well, no. Because remember, okay, so the Red Wedding is actually between, I believe, Catelyn Stark's brother and one of the Freys.
I know it has something to do with a bridge deal, so.
Yeah, it was that. It was a bridge deal. So, but Robb Stark's wife is not originally at the wedding. She was actually still at, what the fuck? She was still at the Tully Stronghold, when the Red Wedding took place in the books. In the TV series, she's not only fucking there, but she's fucking pregnant, and somebody fucking stabs her baby and stabs her. So they fucking, like, literally, Game of Thrones was like, nah, that's not good enough. We need to include an abortion and a murder.
They crippled the fucking Stark bloodline in one foul swoop.
They basically did. Well, the only person who's left, the only two that are left.
It's like, no, I think it's Jon Snow and Bran.
No.
Oh, wait, no,
actually, well,
wait,
no.
They didn't kill Bran, did they?
No. Well,
okay, no, shut up right there. Shut up right there.
Well, no, I don't know because I haven't like seen all of I've seen all of season 4 except for like one episode, and I think that one episode is like what led to, you know, whatever the fuck happened with Bran, because I think that was one of the Bran episodes. But currently, to my knowledge, we have Bran, we have Rickon, we have Sansa, and we have Arya. And Jon.
Yeah, I was going to say Jon. He's like...
Jon Snow doesn't count because he knows nothing.
He knows nothing because he's at the wall.
So, honestly, my theory about Game of Thrones is that, you know, the book is called A Song of Ice and Fire. So I really think it's going to be Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow. And Tyrion is going to happen because if you kill Tyrion, like, everybody is going to be pissed because Peter Dinklage is the best man. Best dude ever.
Yeah, so, no, he is fantastic at what he does. I was going to say on my end, when it comes to shows and whatnot, and half of you on my channel already know this shit. You're like, we know about your favorite shows, John. Fucking calm down. But, okay. So, for those who don't know, my favorite shows include Hannibal, The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad. Fuck. Kind of just
Better Call Saul. Have you seen that yet?
I didn't start watching Better Call Saul yet. I know I got to get into it.
I've only seen like 3 episodes, but
I've heard it's phenomenal.
It looks pretty good, man. I'm like, oh shit! Like I really got to find time to do this, but I have like so much shit to do.
Yeah. Then there's Doctor Who, of course, and this is just way out of the realm of like super serious stuff, like shows like that. I'm actually starting to grow a fond love for The Office now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I really thought you were going to say Adventure Time.
Oh, no, I've seen a couple of episodes of Adventure Time. I like it. Can't go wrong with it.
Okay, so since this is a podcast about movies and we were only talking about TV,
we're just rambling about the spectrum of media. So don't mind us since it's the first episode, by the way. Okay, you were saying?
So anyway, I literally just wanted to say that so I just lost my train of thought and I don't know why. Okay, so basically how this is gonna work is basically we're gonna eventually like talk about movies eventually. But the reason but today we're actually gonna talk about something that's like near and dear to my heart. Mostly that it technically could count as a movie because it's 4 hours.
It's more like
long.
It's more like if this was a movie, it would be like Christopher Nolan directing a wrestling movie. So we're gonna have to go into it. Last night was WrestleMania.
And
so
if you guys don't like wrestling, you should stick around because the way I describe wrestling is really hilarious. Apparently,
no, our live tweets of WrestleMania were the thing. We're like, I don't know what wrestling is, but this made it interesting. Like me, you, fucking Manga Minx, Uber Haxer Nova. Like, everyone's tweets were just like, what the fuck is going on?
And one of my friends was like, Marshall, he was like, oh, so you guys are talking about wrestling, huh? Well, I guess I'm disappearing for the next 3 hours. And I was like, dude, how did you not know it was WrestleMania?
Might as well cut to the chase on WrestleMania first off. Favorite match of the night, go. I'm sorry, I just imagine you like, fuck.
There were so many good ones. That's the problem.
I know.
Like, okay, my big thing is, okay, so this is my really huge thing. I am a huge wrestling nerd.
Yeah, she's like, I love my like section of wrestling is like Attitude Era, that sort of thing. You know the whole gambit of wrestling.
Pretty much. I know, like, I don't watch Raw or SmackDown anymore as much as I'd like to, just because I don't have time to do it anymore. But my whole thing is, I am all about the NXT. And,
fuck yes, NXT.
So, for those of you who don't know, I did a Vaudevillains episode for my birthday, and Simon Gotch, who is one of the Vaudevillains, follows me on Twitter. So, the fact that I have accomplished more in my lifetime by letting a professional wrestler follow me, and I get to talk about him, and he actually called my episode a loving tribute to him and his partner, kind of made my life forever. So trust me when I say I am a huge wrestling nerd. I even convinced, I live with Rap Critic, and I convinced him to watch a wrestling match with me. which is really difficult. And I also, spoiler alert for those of you who don't know Rap Critic, which you probably do if you are a fan of Channel Awesome, Rap Critic and I are going to be reviewing something to do with John Cena's rap songs.
Oh yeah, wait, did he actually release an album of Thugonomics shit? I forget if he did.
I think so.
Okay.
And we're also going to review his entrance musics too, like because he had like 2 different songs that he wrote for his entrance.
He wrote those?
He wrote Basic Thugonomics and You Can't and My Time Is Now. Those are him.
Oh god. We make fun of that all the time.
But it's actually like legit him. So, okay, so match of the night. I'm going to give it to either the Intercontinental title, which was an amazing ladder match, or I'm going to give it to, and I'm really sorry that I cannot put my favorite wrestler in the contending for match of the night, but
I just told you like,
but Lesnar.
Oh yeah, Lesnar Reigns was easily my favorite match of the night, just because.
But I do have to say that Undertaker did a really good show. I was really afraid that after the beating he received by Brock Lesnar last year, that he was not going to be able to compete, but he actually looked pretty solid out there. So
I'm sorry. 2 things. He looks like he's like really old now, and it's kind of sad.
50.
No, I know.
50.
But it's
That's
like
really old for a wrestler. Dude.
I know it is. Like if you watch Have you watched the movie The Wrestler?
Yes.
Yeah, no. His age, like, that's fucked up. Like, that guy exists, and, like, like, for his age, that's, like, fucking old.
But let's go through match by match. Okay, so
well, this is where, before we start, I have to be honest with you. My entrance point was Sting Triple H, so I missed a couple of matches.
Okay, well, I will say I missed the pre-show matches because I was at work, but I do know that Big Show won the Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which everybody was like, "Oh, why did Big Show?" Because Big Show needs to look dominant without actually having any gold.
He's the closest thing to Andre the Giant right now.
Pretty much that, and because if he had lost and it was the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, that would have looked really weak for him.
Especially to Mizdow, by the way.
Oh my God, Mizdow breaking up was best thing.
So is he just gonna be Sandow again, or is he still staying with Mizdow?
I hope that they do a feud where they basically feud the right to call, like, to get his name back. That would be actually pretty awesome to watch. But the tag team Fatal 4-Way, Kid and Cesaro won. I'm not really invested in the tag team scene in WWE as much as I am in NXT.
I was gonna say, as long as it's about villains.
As long as it's the vaudevillains, I don't really care. Everybody else can just go fuck themselves because vaudevillains need everything. Okay, so the Intercontinental title with Daniel Bryan winning was probably the coolest thing. That match was pretty brutal. A lot of people were like, also Stardust looked like fucking Mr. Sinister, which was like, what even? Like, his entrance attire made him look like Mr. Sinister. Did you see that entrance attire?
I didn't. I gotta look it up.
I would also like to point out that Dolph Ziggler put a hell of a match on with Daniel Bryan during the ladder match, which was pretty cool.
I've heard it was good, so.
But I hear that, but here's the thing about Daniel Bryan. Now, if anybody knows anything about wrestling, the whole point of WrestleMania is basically to end storylines, specific storylines, and start new ones.
And it is also the Super Bowl of wrestling.
Yeah, basically, like, this is and I told Rap Critic this last night. I was like, this is the one night of the year where you're gonna actually see me, like, legit, like, want to watch it live, because everybody spoils WrestleMania.
Yeah, like with
they don't even like try to. No, you need to watch it live or you're gonna fucking know everything.
Yeah, like stupid. With like even with Twitter when you're watching it, that's the only thing I could do. You can't contain it. You gotta just kind of let it go and like freak out and stuff like that. Yeah, you
gotta freak out about it. And I had some pretty choice tweets last night. I was really proud of my tweets last night. My personal favorites among them were I'm
gonna go with some favorite tweets of mine. I would say my favorite was Seth Rollins is now the mayor of Suplex City.
Oh my God, when you tweeted that, I was like, oh my God, I wanted to say that, but you beat me to it, you asshole.
Well, the thing is, by the way, and I've been waiting to tell you this, if I ever were to start a wrestling podcast, which I'm slowly debating on it just so I could talk about the old Attitude Era and shit like that again, I would call it Suplex City, just because I fucking love that name.
That's amazing.
That was the funniest shit I have seen.
That was really funny.
Because, like, as soon as he fucking does the Suplex, you just hear him go, Suplex City, bitch!
And I literally was like, oh my God.
I'm like, did he just fucking say that?
Okay, I didn't actually say anything about the other match, but I will say that one of my favorite quotes from last night are, "Those are human beings, damn it!" And then I literally commentated, "Oh my God, JBL."
Yeah, I was about to say, like, they're things that, like, when you hear them, you double take, like, what the fuck?
Well, let's go through the matches as they are. So then we have Randy Orton, Seth Rollins. I call him Rawlings because of the Mark remark. I know it's Rollins, whatever.
You just fucked yourself. Just Rawlings. No, you had it right.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! The little Karibo from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged calls him Seth Rollings. So
yeah.
That's what I've been calling him for the longest time, is Seth Rollings. But yeah, I mean, the RKO was fucking sick.
That was insane shit.
Yeah, the moonsault from Rollings, because I'm gonna not call him anything else. The moonsault from Seth Rollins was awesome. I mean, I even like retweeted a GIF of it from on Twitter. It was pretty amazing. Okay, Triple H Sting. Basically, if you don't know the backstory of why Sting and Triple H were feuding, is basically because Sting used to be in WCW, and if you've seen my Ready to Rumble review, you fucking know all about Sting.
So it's basically to me, it seems like it's just like a abridged version of Monday Night War.
Yeah, a lot of people said that because it was true.
It should have, if it was Monday Night War with a terrible build-up. That's what it was.
It really was. It was absolutely terrible.
A lot of the WrestleMania matches had bad build-up when you think about it.
It's true, they did. It was a little bit ridiculous, and I kind of like, I don't even know. Like
the only one with proper build-up maybe was Lesnar Reigns, but that's about it.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. Yeah, but basically, yeah, and then the other thing is everybody was talking about how Triple H came out as the Terminator, and that
was weird.
I literally could not with that because I was just basically sitting there going, this feels so fake. Like, I know wrestling is supposed to be scripted, and it's okay, to be fair, people who say wrestling is fake, to an extent, yes, it is fake in that it is scripted.
It is fake. The injuries are fucking real.
The injuries are fucking real. Like, they actually do go out there and physically beat the fuck out of each other. That's kind of their thing. So, like, when somebody says, unless it's an actual scripted injury where they actually appear on screen injured, that is a work, and that is actually a fake injury. But if they disappear from the television and they say, oh, you know, this guy, you know, got his shoulder fucking blown out or whatever.
Yeah.
They're legit. That's legit. Like, if they don't appear on camera for a certain amount of time, like when Cena fucked up his neck, he was out for 8 months or whatever. Like, that was legit. So, but I will say, I legitimately marked out for Shawn Michaels super kicking Sting. That was kind of my favorite thing in that match.
That was good, but the only thing was, like, I caught in about the halfway point, and I was like, okay, the NWO's here, the fucking D-Generation X is here. I feel like I've seen this shit before when they were in better shape and had some amazing matches.
I actually tweeted, hey, 1998, what the hell are you guys doing here?
It's sad seeing Razor Ramon now. It's weird.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm kind of like sitting there going, I really want to feel good about the fact that you're still on television, but you're so old.
No, it's like,
That being said, I will say that I have never been so happy to see old people fight. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
I was laughing way too fucking hard when Hogan comes over. He like pulls the fucking sledgehammer. He's like, "No, brother, what you gonna do?" He just gets the shit kicked out of him.
That was hilarious. So after that, we have AJ Lee and Paige defeating the Bella Twins, which was.
That's all you. That's all you.
I am a huge fan of AJ Lee and Paige. I fucking love both of them, and the fact that they're teaming up kind of makes my day forever. You know, AJ Lee and Paige won, and I will say that they not only did they win, they won legitly, and they won cleanly,
and they won in a submission. That's the main thing.
And they won via submission, which basically proves. Basically, to me, AJ Lee and Paige basically proved to me that the women's division of WWE can do nothing but go up if they get rid of everybody who sucks.
They need, you know what I think they need? They need to fucking inject Ronda Rousey as a fucking diva, and she will be the fucking Brock Lesnar of divas.
Oh my God, yes. You know who I really wanted to come back, but is probably never going to come back now? Beth Phoenix and fucking Awesome Kong.
I was gonna say, you know, you should get back as if anyone from the divas, you get fucking Lita and Trish Stratus again.
Well, Trish Stratus is still.
Oh, she just
had
out?
A baby.
Oh,
she just had a baby.
Never mind then. She's gonna be. She's dealing with the baby then.
Okay, so then we have Cena Rusev, which John Cena. Okay, so can I just explain how Rusev had the best entrance of the night with a fucking tank?
No, he had that was awesome. And then it was followed up by like the most lackluster American patriotic intro I have ever seen in my life. Just a fucking montage of like all this American shit, and then all of a sudden the Cena music plays, and it's just you hear John Cena sucks.
Yeah, and then my favorite quote was actually from Rap Critic himself. I said, "So Rap Critic on John Cena, you are not America. You were in the Fred movie."
I remember watching that movie.
Yeah. So also people were speculating whether or not he would come out as Uncle Sam.
Oh no.
Which would have been really hilarious.
No, what would have made it? What would have if he fucking did what he did last time with the troops or whatever the hell?
Okay.
Do you remember that when he had like the fucking army saluting him down? If they did that again, I would be like, all right, this is too American. We're done. Everyone go home. This is Rocky IV, the wrestling match.
And then I loved that when they got into the ring and they were and Lillian was about to introduce them, Rusev basically was like, "No, bitch, introduce me first." And I was like,
he's like, "I'm the champion, motherfucker."
And I was like, "You do know how it works, right? That because you're the champion, you get announced last because you're the most prestigious."
Yeah, that's kind of how it works. But he was like, "No, me first." That's fantastic. I actually want to see that. Specifically when he debuted. Yeah. When he did Royal Rumble, there's this one time I remember that like the Royal Rumble was actually in motion, and he comes out with a mic and just starts freestyle rapping to the crowd, and I'm like, get in the fucking ring and get knocked out. Please.
And one of my friends actually said, "I want Rusev to win," and then we cut backstage to Hulk Hogan crying. I was like, okay. I literally was like, oh, and then the other thing was, okay, so some point in the match towards the very end, before John Cena won, right before John Cena won, Rusev knocked Lana off of the apron and she went flying and whatever. So I literally said, "Walk it off, Lana. You are the daintiest of Russians, I swear."
Oh, yeah.
Because she was, like, being gingerly on her foot, being escorted by 2 referees. And I was like, literally, girl, you are from Russia. You are making Black Widow sad. I was so angry
God.
at this bitch.
That she was like, the fact that she threw her shoes and missed, that was fucking amazing.
That was hilarious. And then they did like a little thing where they like cut to the panel from the beginning, and while that panel was going on, the
NXT chant was going on.
The NXT chanting happened, and I literally you know, John, you tweeted, "Damn right, there's an NXT chant going."
Yeah, fucking NXT is amazing. That's why.
And I was like, "They're chanting NXT, ha ha ha! That must be so awkward for Vince McMahon."
Yeah. Because he's like, for those who don't know, we talk about NXT for the most part. NXT is more or less the developmental program of the WWE. It's the, like, hey, we're going to put on a show, but at the same time, we're scouting talent to see how you guys are going to fare. So then if we bring you into the real roster, we can do something. So, and by the way, let's put it out there right now. The NXT, if you leave their gimmicks as they are right now, you're going to have some of the best wrestlers out there. If you have fucking Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Adrian Neville.
The Vaudevillains.
The Vaudevillains. I know the Vaudevillains. Lucha Dragons.
Fucking, and the Divas, too.
The Divas. Bailey
Sasha Banks, Bailey, Alexa Bliss, fucking Charlotte. Oh my God, all the girls on that show are amazing.
Yeah, if you can bring them, they're going to revitalize the Divas.
Like, oh, yeah. Like
roster.
Them plus AJ and Paige, you have a perfect Divas division right there.
Yeah. So like they are actually doing something in that. Yeah. Like those are fucking starving artists, so to speak, of their craft.
Side note, I actually know Bull Dempsey from high school.
That's weird, isn't it?
It is. You have no idea how weird it is. Every time he comes out, I literally say I call him by his first name, which I will not disclose because I will probably get shot.
Cannot confirm name right now.
Cannot confirm name, but I will say it's on his Wikipedia page.
You got like however many thousand people like, what's his fucking name?
So then we move into the Rock promo with Ronda Rousey. That
was the best promo. As much as nothing was happening for the most part,
that
was an amazing promo.
You know why it went so long, right?
Because fucking, I feel like it was because
and the Undertaker's matches,
yeah,
entrances are supposed to be dark. They were in fucking California where it was still light out at 7 p.m.
Well, yeah, that, and also the fact that I thought it was mainly because Bray Wyatt's ankle was fucked up. That was the other reason.
That was the other reason, but the one of the biggest reasons was like, and I tweeted about how surreal it was that the Undertaker was like, this was almost the same amount of light as WrestleMania 9 when the Undertaker came out. It looked like it was fucking broad daylight. Like when he did his lights coming up, like all that happened was the purple just faded away. That's all that happened. It was weird. But yeah, the Rock Ronda Rousey promo was pretty awesome. I really hope that they do something with that, though. I hope that Ronda Rousey sticks around and she and the Rock take down the Authority, because
I feel like she's gonna be at Backlash. That's what I feel like. She's gonna show up at Backlash for something.
I feel like that, and I feel like the Rock and Triple H are gonna basically be mouthing each other through social media until the Rock says, "Hey, you know how we had a okay rivalry that was totally not the same as Steve Austin, Stone Cold, and myself." Because they were literally like, yeah, this is the best rivalry ever, Triple H versus The Rock. And
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And I literally was thinking to myself, somewhere in the universe, Stone Cold Steve Austin is driving right now from Texas to California to go kick their ass.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin is, and for those of you guys who don't know, when I watched the Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin defined my history of watching wrestling. If not next to the Hardy Boys, those three wrestlers defined my fucking wrestling experience.
I mean, I was all about the Edge and Christian and Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I also loved The Rock. So, like, whenever they had a match, I was like, you know what? I don't care who wins, because they always put on really
they
good
did
matches.
Phenomenal matches.
But yeah, so I really like that promo. But let's get to, okay, now, for those of you who are unaware of The Undertaker until last year had the greatest streak in sports.
21 or 22 and 0?
21 and 0.
Yeah.
Last year. He was 20 going into WrestleMania. He was 21 and 0.
And if everyone's seen the meme of the guy at WrestleMania who's shocked, but that's because last year Lesnar was the first person to end the streak. He's the first person ever to defeat the Taker and fucking take it. And we haven't seen him since. So he comes back this year, and we're like, all right, how's he gonna do?
Yeah, and he actually put on a legit match. Like, although I will say during the entrance when Bray Wyatt had all his like scarecrows, I was like, yeah, you guys, they're gonna have to run backstage and become druids.
Oh no, my favorite thing for that entire, like, I'm watching that and I'm like, is Dr. Jonathan Crane here right now?
Oh my god, yes. That would be hilarious.
Because that's what the first Scarecrow that reminded me so much of Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, I don't know why it was, but it was really good. I was like, but my whole thing is, okay, so my big thing about Undertaker is I remember when Undertaker debuted in 1990.
I wasn't even a thought yet, so
I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember how fucking scary it was. My dad didn't used to threaten me with the boogeyman. He used to tell me that the Undertaker would come to my house and kill me.
Jesus Christ. I watched, because they had on Netflix for a brief period of time, I think it was for WrestleMania, before the WWE Network was even a thing, they had, it was called The Undertaker, The Streak. And basically it was 20-something episodes long of every single streak-based match that they had, starting from when he comes out with the orange hair and the purple to fucking Triple H.
Yeah, no. So last year when Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania, basically everybody was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, we were all like, oh my god, this is so bad. Like, what the hell? So going into this match, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I honestly expected The Undertaker not to show up. I honestly expected the Kane to show up in his place. I expected pretty much anything to happen other than The Undertaker coming and winning.
Can I be honest with you? I honestly thought Wyatt would have won. That would have been, to me, I feel like that would have made you sad. Good. It would have been sad. But honestly, I think Wyatt should have won. Like, I feel like it would have been a good passing the torch moment. A good way for Taker to go out on his own terms. Like, he shakes hands and leaves.
Here's the thing. This is what I think they're building up to with The Undertaker. Although, first, I will say with Rap Critic actually watched the Undertaker Bray Wyatt match.
You have to. That's sort of like that thing. Like, all right, I even posted on Twitter.
I told him you got to watch 2 matches with me. The first being the Divas match because holy fuck yes, AJ. And the other one was I was like, I'm going to make you watch the Undertaker match with me. He was like, okay, and he was mad. He was like, guy with beard lost. I'm so pissed.
And because fucking guy with beard is fucking creepy and amazing at wrestling.
Yeah, and I was like saying, okay, well, I guess that's a thing that happened. But I honestly think that this is what they're gonna do with WrestleMania for Taker from this point on. Is basically, they're waiting. I think that they're waiting for Kane to stop being corporate Kane.
Why are they doing that? That's fucking
I don't even
stupid.
Know. I don't even know. But I want him to take the mask back. I want him to put it on, and I want him to say, however long it took for him to get the mask back, say, at WrestleMania 29, Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, finally overpowered you, took away what you cherished so deeply, and now I'm going to bury you. And that will do 3 things. Number 1, it would make a phenomenal ending for the Undertaker.
Like a career-ending match.
A career-ending match wherein Kane either buries him alive or they have an Inferno match and he sends him to hell. And the other thing that would be good about that is Kane would face him 3 times at WrestleMania, being the only person to do so. And the last thing that would do is that it would basically solidify that Kane is as big a threat as The Undertaker himself.
That's actually kind of thought-provoking in a sense.
Yeah, and, I actually did an analysis of The Undertaker's powers one day.
Oh my God.
I literally watched all of his DVDs. Like, I had all of his DVDs at one point, and I watched all of the DVDs up until, I think it was, 2009 or something, or 2010, whenever the last DVD came out. And I sat there, and I counted all of his powers. Every single one of his powers. I think it's still on my live journal, to be completely honest.
Oh my God.
If they haven't purged it. But
if we could dig that up one day and just read.
Right now. I'm gonna do it right now.
I feel like that's just something for a whole other podcast that we could just dig up and go through.
I'm just gonna go through one of his a couple of his powers that are pretty prevalent that most people are unaware of. A lot of people are aware of the darkness, he can make the whole arena, he has power over light where he can actually control the lights and shit. That's pretty obvious. The whole lightning striking thing is a pretty big power of his.
Go on.
It's pretty amazing.
It's weird that we have these almost digital artifacts that you could kind of pull up from, and in the sense of you have them from years and years ago and you just forget about it, and then all of a sudden it's just prevalent now and you're like, holy shit, I remember this thing, and you just bring it up because I've had moments like that and I just my thing is I have to repost these to Tumblr just because if I don't, I feel I feel like it's going to be one of those things where you're just oh shit, how am I going to do this? You know what I mean? Oh my God.
Because I really don't want to do one of those things where I lose it because I spent a lot of fucking time on this, I really did. And it's kind of annoying because I'm oh crap, because I really want to do it. But, at the same time, I'm kind of
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
This was after I watched Undertaker's Deadliest Matches in the dark at 3 a.m. Okay?
Oh my God.
Resurrection, when he actually comes back from the dead. Super strength because he can lift, big guys like Mark Henry, Big Daddy V, Big Show. Super agility with Old School. Lightning, of course. Fire, of course. Control over darkness. Mind control and possession for the Ministry era, for those of us who remember.
Oh my God, the Ministry, motherfucker. I remember that shit.
Yeah.
The whole Stephanie McMahon thing?
Yeah. Unkillable. Every time somebody has claimed that he is dead and that they have killed him, he basically comes back and says, nah, man, that didn't happen.
Nah, shit. Nah, B, this is cool.
Mind games on an unparalleled scale, which basically means okay, he is the master of mind games. Like, Bray Wyatt's really good at mind games, but he is not on the level of Undertaker yet. I'm sorry. Teleportation. He fucking teleports. I mean, honestly, like, obviously he doesn't actually teleport. I mean, they basically take the lights out of the ring.
Were there any, question for you, were there any powers that involved Paul Bearer in that list? Okay, because one of them has to include his appearance when he goes, oh, yes!
Yes, it's called summoning minions, because Paul Bearer is technically one of his minions.
I know.
Being able to invent all of those matches. You guys got to remember, Undertaker invented casket, buried it alive, body bag, coffin, Hell in a Cell match, concrete crypt, where Paul Bearer actually died at one point.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the last ride match. Summoning minions and druids. Not only does he summon them, they fucking chant. Just saying. And he takes people's souls. It's like, no, literally, he has actually said on numerous occasions in the storyline, like,
I will take your soul or some shit like that.
I come for your soul. And I literally commented about how, man, he must have quite the collector's box. But yeah, I honestly, I broke it down, and I so far have about 16 different powers the Undertaker has.
That's kind of amazing.
Like, I took that much time out of my life and actually, like, you know, analyzed this DVD and said, holy shit, these are all powers.
Oh my god.
Okay, now let's talk about the match of the night.
Let's discuss the greatest match to me at least, the greatest match of all.
Well, let's talk about what happened before the ending. Let's talk about how it was just Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the beginning.
Yeah.
So Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, so they were basically building up. Okay, so now those of you who didn't watch the Royal Rumble, everybody was pretty much pissed that Roman Reigns won and not Daniel Bryan or Dean Ambrose.
Is that really why, like, they were like, the whole fucking, why everyone was booing because it was just Roman Reigns? Because I can understand, like, Roman Reigns up to that point, I think, had been wrestling for like 6 months.
Yeah. My big thing with it is that they pushed him too quickly. Like, within the span of 30 days from the Slammies to Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Dude won a Slammy, won almost every single match he was in, then he won the Royal Rumble. That is too fast of a push.
I get that, but I have to say, honestly, like, he is a really good wrestler for who he is. He's pretty fucking good.
Well, Paul Heyman put it correctly. He's got the talent, he's got the mic skills, he's the right person, the right place, but the wrong time.
Okay, that's actually kind of true, yeah.
Yeah, like, this was not the time to push him. That was the big thing that a lot of people objected to. But, however, I will say that Brock Lesnar beating the fuck out of him for the better part of 20 minutes was kind of great. I think the suplex... Now, for those of us who don't know about the suplex count is whenever Brock Lesnar is in the ring and he does multiple suplexes. And I'm not talking like 2 or 3 or 4.
Like 7 to 10.
Yeah, we're talking about like any higher than 7. If Brock Lesnar does any more suplexes than 7, the suplex count starts.
Like, on a good day, he gets maybe like 10, 11 in.
Well, there was the one time when he was facing John Cena, he got 16.
Shit! Okay, yeah. That's a really good day then.
Yeah, that was
like a fantastic. That's like a oh, I just woke up really late for my job, but oh look, they're closed for the day. I'm going back to bed. That's that kind of day.
Yeah, pretty much. So I basically was like, okay, well, I guess this is happening. Also, 3 F5s, what the hell?
Yeah, no, like, I was fucking shocked that it happened literally in the first 5 minutes of the match.
Which I was kind of fine with, because I was like, okay, Brock Lesnar does not want to...
He's like, I'm not fucking around, let's do this.
He's not like... He wasn't like, I'm not... At first, Brock Lesnar was like, well, I don't want to punish the poor kid, because... You know, he was like, I'm just going to F5 him, end the match, and be like, all right, look, this is not, you're not ready for me. But then Roman Reigns super punched him in the face and made him bleed, and he was like, hell no.
He literally went, this is how it's going to go now. Okay, let's fucking do this.
And he literally was like, now I'm going to torture you.
Yeah, he tortured him for a good 20 minutes, and then a poll happened.
And then Seth Rollins came out.
Hold on. Let's go back a bit. Let's go back. There's still a little bit of.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's still a little bit. There was a twist, and then it came into that. But what happened was, they somehow ended up outside of the ring.
Yeah.
And fucking. I almost said Brawlins. Jesus Christ. Brock Lesnar fucking takes the hit of a lifetime. Just fucking goes flying into this pole, like into the turnbuckle pole. Fucking knocked out cold. He had to be.
Yeah, not only that, but he was like busted open several times. It wasn't just like, it wasn't just like, it wasn't just the one time he got punched. Like, he got thrown into a ring post and got split open. He got, like, I think his finger was bleeding at one point. Like, he was just fucking bloody as fuck.
Yeah.
And then, so they're outside, like, the ring. And all of a sudden, like, from out, and I really hate saying this, but literally from out of nowhere, fucking Seth Rollins comes down with his briefcase, no J&J security, which I was like, oh, thank fuck, and runs down, gives it to the ref, and goes, I'm cashing it in,
oh my god, that was, like, as soon as I heard the music, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Was there a musical cue? And then you just see Rollins bolt down, like, fucking, who was it who did that? Edge, CM Punk.
CM Punk did it.
Like, they just
now, here's the thing. Now, let me explain to you, those of you who are probably listening and going, what the fuck is he doing cashing in?
They're going more or less, so, is this a podcast about movies or wrestling? Which one is that?
So the Money in the Bank is a very important match. The Money in the Bank ladder match happens between like 8 different dudes, and they basically compete for a briefcase. In that briefcase is a contract. For an entire year from the time you receive the briefcase, you can cash in on any champion you want at any point in time. Anyone. It doesn't fucking matter. As long as they are champion and as long as you have that briefcase, you can do whatever the fuck you want to a title match.
Basically, you could, it's been, for example, one of the big ones was, I think, Edge on Cena.
Not only that, but also Edge cashing in on The Undertaker.
Yeah, it was that, and then I remember the one with Cena where fucking Cena gets bloodied and shit like that, and the match is over. He's like, I fucking did it! And then all of a sudden you just hear the music pop up, and he's just like, all right, let's do this.
And Edge, and most of the time when they cash in, now Seth Rollins had a fucking match earlier that night, but remember his match was like 3rd on the card, so he's had a lot of fucking time to rest. Whereas these guys have been beating the fuck out of each other for the past 25 minutes. So most of the time when a briefcase is cashed in, the person who's cashing in is usually fresh. So he cashes it in and he goes, I'm going to beat the fuck out of these people for 5 minutes and pin one of them. So he goes after Brock Lesnar, and I was like, why would you do that? No. Then Roman Reigns, and then he did the best thing he possibly could have. He beat the fuck out of Roman Reigns and pinned him in the center of the ring.
Yeah, he basically got rid of Brock Lesnar. He was like, all right, what happened was he used the opportunity to. He basically, like, he let Reigns spear him out of the ring, and then he just goes, all right, I'm going to curb stomp the shit out of you, and I'm going to pin and take the win.
Yeah, and now this establishes, and for those of us who are, like, avid wrestling fans, this basically establishes 3 things. This establishes, number 1, that Reigns is now out of the title picture and is no longer going to be pushed into the title picture for the foreseeable future. Because he literally got pinned in the center of the ring.
Oh, wait, okay.
WWE
Sorry, I thought you meant, I was thinking of the wrong, sorry, I totally messed that up. I'm like, who are we talking about? Okay.
No. When you get pinned in the middle of the ring by the current, well, he wasn't current at that moment, but once he pinned him, yes, the current WWE World Heavyweight Champion, you basically have no claim to the championship belt anymore, basically.
Yeah, so
you got to go back to the end of the line, my friend. But I will say that this established 2 other things. The other thing is that it established, it established 3 other things. Roman Reigns looks strong, but not as strong as Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, no, he was, if you watch that match, literally about 10 minutes in, he turns into a rag doll.
Yeah, he does.
He was a rag doll. Like, you could just really throw him around and shit.
Yeah, he was a little ridiculous. It was a little ridiculous. Like, I actually started to feel bad for Roman Reigns. The other thing it established is that Brock Lesnar was not pinned. Therefore, he still has claim to his championship.
No, Paul Heyman will make that argument, but you know what?
Well, no, they're gonna make that argument tonight on Raw. They're literally gonna say, hey, so Paul Heyman's gonna be like, listen, bitches, he didn't get pinned, therefore he's still in the title picture. Fuck you.
And they're gonna try and do a backlash match, and it'll be fucking hyped up.
It would be so great, though, because then here's what you could do. Because if you actually want to bill Seth Rollins as your new WWE champion and like actually have him do a proper feud with Brock Lesnar, what you have him do is you have him beat Brock Lesnar at Backlash by a fluke, not completely clean, but not completely like dirty either, like half-assed kind of.
Yeah.
And then say, at the next pay-per-view, say Brock Lesnar says, okay, no DQ, none of this bullshit. I want a real legit no DQ match where I kick your fucking ass and get my championship back. Now, if they could actually do that and build that feud, that would be great. Because it makes Seth Rollins look stronger than Roman Reigns.
I like you're just going like in the middle. It's like Seth Rollins. Fuck it. Fuck.
Thanks, little Karibo. I will never say Seth Rollins correctly again.
There you go, right there.
But no, it makes Seth Rollins look more legitimate than Roman Reigns. But Roman Reigns still looks legitimate in regards to Brock Lesnar because he took a fucking beating from Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar still looks stronger than both of them because Brock Lesnar basically didn't get pinned and he beat the fuck out of Roman Reigns. So basically, this is the match where everybody fucking won and they just didn't realize it yet.
I'm sorry, Homeboy made out like a fucking bandit in that match, and that was probably one of the greatest things I've seen.
He ran up the ramp. Did you see the fucking gif of him like spinning the belt?
He's like, fuck you people, I'm a winner!
And I was like, oh my god, Roman. And then Roman Reigns looked so fucking sad, and Brock Lesnar and like Paul Heyman looked really fucking sad, and everybody looked fucking sad, and I was like, but this is, and I fucking hate Seth Rollins. I really do. I hate his character. But after last night, I'm kind of like, you know what? This is a guy I can get behind.
I was happy that he won. I was really happy he won. Because he seems like one of those guys who's going to go far in the WWE.
Oh my god, yes. If they book him, if they keep him booked like this for, if they keep booking him in these matches, which are really smart. Because here's the thing. This is why the WrestleMania was such a good pay-per-view. The reason is that it had such low hype. The card looked stupid as fuck. But
at the end of the day, you realize, holy shit, it's gonna have some twists and turns that you won't expect.
Right, and then when you're watching it, you're like, well, fuck, I'm so glad I watched this. So it's like, this is like one of those things where you're basically like sitting there and going, well, this is gonna be a crap pay-per-view. And at the end of the night, I was literally like, oh my fucking shit. Like, I actually tweeted, oh my shit. Hashtag WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, no, I was blown away. That one match, Taker Wyatt, that was a great match. That was one of the ones that brought me in. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be interesting. And then fucking Lesnar Reigns was like the fucking bow on the present. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And I literally said, hashtag Suplex City bitch is trending on Twitter. This is the greatest day of my life.
Wait, it was trending?
It was trending last night.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Suplex City bitch, count 10, 3 F5s, this is a fucking massacre, I actually said. And then somebody actually said, and then my friend Ace said, this really turned into Superman versus Doomsday.
It did, yeah, and then as he said that as soon as fucking...
And then Reigns came in, and then
as soon as Rollins came in, that's when it fucking turned. I'm like, all right, now the Flash is here.
No, I was like, no, this is fucking Batman.
He is okay, yeah, he's sort of Batman.
Because they keep telling everybody he's the architect. Yeah, Batman's the architect. That makes sense, actually.
But
yeah, I was like, and then you tweeted, Seth Rollins is the mayor of Suplex City, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot.
I was freaking out like JR freaks out. That was the voice in my head.
Yeah, no, I totally believe that. And then, two of my Spoonie actually said, Brock remains unbeaten, Seth looks smart, and Reigns isn't champion. I fail to see the problem. And then one of my friends, Raven, said, WWE could not have booked that more perfectly. Brock still looks unbeatable, Roman doesn't look weak, and Seth fucking Rollins became a god.
Yeah, no, he's like the most intelligent in that situation.
Yeah, and today I realized how fucking stupid I sounded because I'm a wrestling fan, and I basically apologized to everybody on Twitter, and I was like, "Hey guys, just so you know, I'm so sorry about that whole thing last night with me, marking the fuck out for everything. Specifically to my, my social media class because they have to follow me on Twitter, and I was like, they're gonna hate me now."
Honestly, like, I think it's fine to mark the fuck out of things. Like, when it comes to when you're marking out on Twitter, go ahead, do it. Let your freak flag fly. It's fucking totally worth it to do. Because, like, there's so many things in this lifetime that you can do. You might as well fucking enjoy it. So that's it's fucking important to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely totally worth it. So we said we were gonna make this a bi-weekly web thing, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be. Let's first off, that's WrestleMania in review.
Yeah, seriously.
It was a good pay-per-view. Unfortunately, like, I canceled my network thing, but honestly, for what it was, that was perfect to, like, a perfect end note for me to watch.
Yeah.
Okay,
so go ahead.
So I was gonna say that this podcast that we're doing is, and there's a plane flying over my house right now. That's awesome. But anyway, this podcast we're doing is, while not this episode, is usually going to be the focal point of it is going to be just a discussion about movies and stuff like that. Just a casual chat about them, and we're going to be doing them bi-weekly. So this is going to be going up, I want to say, within the next few days.
Okay.
It's gonna first go up on both of our Patreon pages. We'll link that below in the actual YouTube video. It'll be on Twitter. You'll see it. And also, Jess, if you want to pimp out anything, go for it. You have free reign.
Okay. Well, you guys can check me out on YouTube at I am at youtube.com/user/RavenAllegria13, which Smarty will have to spell out because people don't know how to actually spell that sometimes.
No, I understand that. I'm just like, what the fuck? Okay, just copy paste.
Well, the reason is Raven is my gamer tag. Allegria is my favorite Cirque du Soleil because I'm French Canadian, and 13 is my favorite number. That's the entire thing. I've used that handle forever, not just for, like, it's my email, it's everything. So it's
right.
It's like, to change now would be so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But you can also find me on Twitter at RavenAllegria13. You can find me on Tumblr at the same handle. You can find my Facebook pages, Fool's Gold. And at the end of next month, hopefully, I will be unveiling a new website called Circle Plus, which is about ladies in media on the internet. So this podcast will probably go up under, crossovers because technically you're a dude.
That's fine. I don't. It's okay.
But yeah, it's basically going to be a lot of Kaluna's on it. Miss Nightmare is on it. Fucking, a bunch of people are on it, so it's going to be great. But yeah. I want to say for next time, how do we feel about talking about Furious 7 and the whole Fast and Furious franchise?
Is that coming out next week?
It's coming out next week. Like, I know we're not going to meet for a couple of, like, I know we're not going to meet until probably like the middle, probably like the 13th.
Probably, yeah. I'm thinking we may have to talk about Furious 7 and or if the time is right, the lead up to Avengers, because that is one of the things we're going to be doing on this show. Is occasionally we're going to be reviewing movies. Shocker. We're going to be just sitting down talking about our favorite points of the movie, stuff like that. And one of the big ones that we've planned on doing is we're going to sit down and do a full talk on the Avengers Age of Ultron, which I've tried to keep myself as, like, blind as possible. I've seen maybe one trailer, and that's about it. So
I don't care. This is gonna be great.
Dude, I'm like, the most I saw, like, I gotta tell you the story. We went to go see Get Hard with Will Ferrell.
Okay.
There was an Avengers trailer in that, and I'm like looking at her, I'm like, I'm not looking at the fucking screen right now. I just want you to know.
Which trailer did you see? Did you see the first one?
Second one, I think. Second or third one.
Which one was that one?
Okay, Vision's in it.
That was the most recent.
Yeah, the recent one. So like I heard what was going on. I didn't see what was going on. So I'm like, I'm just gonna
dude,
not.
I lost my shit at the first trailer when they dropped it.
Oh yeah, no, the first trailer's awesome.
I was like, no, I literally said, I said on Twitter, the mother bitching Hulk armor. I literally said that, and everybody was like, wait, what? And I was like, guys, Age of Ultron Hulkbuster armor, what even the fuck, man?
They're like it seems like they're dropping so much shit into this movie. Like,
well, this movie's supposed to be three to 3.5 hours long.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he said it's going to be almost an hour longer than the original Avengers.
So this is the Interstellar of Marvel.
Basically.
Fuck.
Now, I will say that in order for... I know everybody's going to know about Age of Ultron, and I know everybody's going to want to go see it because it's like, you know, one of the biggest movies of the year. I get that. Totally cool with it. That being said, I will say that there are certain things that are in the other movies that lead into phase 3 that some people have noticed, some people have not.
I don't know exactly what leads into phase 3. I mean, of course, there's like the Iron Man. I think it's Iron Man where it's like they're talking about
the Infinity Gems.
Oh yeah, no, I know that, but also they were talking about like bits with like Stephen Strange and other characters like that.
Yeah, in Captain America, they were like, let's wipe Stephen Strange off the map. I literally laughed in the theater.
When you saw him, it's like, you can't do shit.
I started laughing and people like looked at me funny and I was like, you guys don't know who that is? And they asked me afterward, they're like, who the fuck is that? And I'm like, Doctor Strange? And they're like, who the fuck is Doctor Strange? I'm like, the Sorcerer Supreme?
If you haven't...
How do you not know that?
If you don't know who Doctor Strange is, there's on Netflix, there is a animated movie pretty much just called Doctor Strange. Watch that, and that's your basic idea of who Doctor Strange is. He's fucking awesome.
And literally anybody who says that they're going to wipe Doctor Strange off the face of the earth, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange will see you coming from a mile away.
Especially the fact that now he's being played by fucking Bumper Stump Cabbage Patch. That's gonna be...
Is that what we're calling him now?
I call him Bumper... I love that name, Bumper Stump Cabbage Patch. It's one of the funniest things.
Every time I talk to somebody else, it's different.
No, Bumper Stump Cabbage Patch is my favorite.
One of my friends calls him Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, God.
And it makes me so happy.
So, yeah, it's Smaug, guys. You fucking Smaug and Doctor Strange combined into one. That's gonna be fucking horrifying.
It's gonna be so great. But yeah, so next time we'll talk about Furious 7, the lead up to Ultron. Now, the problem we're going to have in a few weeks is that if we're meeting every 2 weeks, I would like to say let's meet after, let's skip the last 2 weeks of April, just because I'm going to be in Minneapolis for Linkara.
Oh yeah, that's true. Your work. Are you allowed to talk about that?
I'm working on the Atop the Fourth Wall movie. I signed a non-disclosure agreement, but basically what I can tell you is spaceships.
Well, that was a given. That was a given.
Also, Linkara is not the main character.
That doesn't surprise me. It feels like it's going to be like it's not going to be like, it feels like it's going to be like same kind of plot structures like the Snob movie where it's like... I'm
going to tell you right now who the main character is. The main character is actually going to be Botho the Clown.
Excuse me? I don't believe you.
The whole movie is going to be in clown, just so you guys know.
I don't believe you. Honestly, I thought you were going to be like, and I'm going to tell you the main character in the next episode. But yeah, so...
Yeah, so I would say if we meet May 4th, which is like the weekend after the Avengers, we could also use... Like, we could also see what the box office record was for that week. Because I'm going to guarantee you they're going to make at least $1 billion.
They're going to make stupid money on that movie.
Stupid
Like,
money.
they're going to be richer than Christ if Christ could actually have money.
Well, here's the thing. Joss Whedon already made Disney $1 billion with the Avengers.
Yeah, no, so he's going to make them, like... I'm going to say way more. Like, easily way more.
Oh my god, yeah.
First day, it's just going to be like, oh, where did all this money come from? Now we have it.
Yeah. Pretty much. When the fuck is Ant-Man coming out?
August.
Nope, I don't see it on here.
I think it's August. Hang on. Ant-Man.
I see the Fantastic Four.
I don't know how to feel about the Fantastic Four. That's July 17th, by the way.
I don't... Oh, there it is. Okay, I was looking at... You said August.
No, I thought August, but it's July 17th, basically a month before, and actually, like, literally a month before my birthday. That's cool.
Nice. And then we get Fantastic Four. Okay, so basically we have Ultron. Okay, so Ultron in May. We get Jurassic World in June. We get Genesis and Magic Mike in July, along with Ant-Man. We get the Fantastic Four and the Man from U.N.C.L.E. in August. We get fucking...
October will be one probably good horror movie that stands out that we didn't know about.
Yeah, probably. Okay, November. Spectre, The Hunger Games. Fuck yes.
Oh, God. I am
all about the
Yeah,
Spectre.
no, okay. Just to preface, Jess is a massive Bond girl.
I am so Bond girl.
She loves fucking Bond.
Hail Spectre and Hydra, FYI. Yeah, I actually did a 6-episode retrospective on James Bond. So,
yeah, you did.
If you guys love James Bond and you want to tell me how wrong I am and let me laugh at your face, you could totally check it out on my YouTube page. Because I did preface that entire series with, I'm only doing the first 3 Bond movies because those are the first 3 that fall before 1964. And I literally said to people, and people kept tweeting me and saying, when are you going to do the next ones? I will say right now, I am doing On Her Majesty's Secret Service with Brad Jones, Cinema Snob, and I am doing GoldenEye with somebody on Nerdvice.
That's going to be fun.
Those are the only 2 movies I am doing that are outside my purview. After I do those 2 movies, I am done with James Bond, except for when I do Spectre.
You're going to have
fun. Because I am going to vlog about Spectre, because goddamn, I'm dragging Rap Critic with me to go see it, and he doesn't have a goddamn say in it.
Those movies have gotten really fucking good. Like, I loved Casino Royale, and then I missed Quantum.
Skyfall
was apparently brilliant.
Skyfall was fucking brilliant. You need to watch that before you see Spectre.
Yeah.
Because everything from Skyfall, it has Fallout and Spectre. And I will say, have you seen the trailer for Spectre yet? Because it just dropped on Friday.
I haven't seen the trailer yet. I'm kind of hanging on to it. I gotta see.
I literally, my heart jumped out of my chest when I heard Christoph Waltz speak.
Oh yeah, no, I heard he's supposedly the big baddie in this.
He better be Blofeld, or I'm gonna be so pissed.
Are they? No, they haven't confirmed if his name is Blofeld or not, or they just.
They've given a false name, but if it's not it's fucking called Spectre. If it's not Blofeld, it's fucking wrong. Like,
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm serious. Like, he better have the fucking cat, and he better have the fucking name, or it's not.
That's like having Odd Job and it not being Odd Job.
Yeah, the entire movie could be fucking phenomenal, but if they tell me that it's not Blofeld and I don't see a fucking white cat in that movie, I'm going to say it's the worst Bond movie ever. I don't care.
It could have had good writing, good fucking acting all around.
Yeah,
There's no cat. Fuck this movie.
No. The Bond girl could be naked and sleeping with me, and I would say this movie fucking sucks. If it's like no cat, no Blofeld. Fuck you. This movie is terrible. But I'm the Bond girl in this movie.
No, fuck it. It's stupid.
Bitch, get out. I don't care. This is a stupid movie. I hate it. Get out of my bed, like, right now. Like, see that window over there? You're gonna jump out. But no, I'm serious. Like, if it's not
Blofeld, you have a lot riding on this movie, is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, no, you don't understand. Like, we have had Bond in general has had a lot of fucking problems because this dude died, and he had all the rights to Spectre and, like, all of the characters associated with Spectre. So
yeah,
that's why that, like, weird time after Timothy Dalton to, like, all of Brosnan's era and, like, part of Daniel Craig's era where they called it Quantum, where they called the organization Quantum. And I
remember that now. Okay.
I was like, oh, literally, Jesus fuck, why don't you just get the rights? And then in 2013, we finally got the rights back, and I was like, oh. And then they were like, oh, by the way, Daniel Craig's coming back as Bond. And I was like, oh. And then they were like, Christoph Waltz is going to be the villain. And I literally died.
You're like, excuse me, what? This is a thing?
I literally, the first thing I did when I found out he was going to be Blofeld, because he's not going to be anybody else. The first thing I did when I found out he was going to be Blofeld was I made sure that I read the news correctly, that he was going to be in the Bond as the Bond villain. And then I looked, and then I immediately watched Django Unchained 3 more times.
Holy shit! Okay, let's discuss this. I feel like we can go into a quick rundown. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like,
you want to do favorite? You want to do favorite movies?
Yeah, easily. I can give you my favorite movies right now.
I could do it too, actually.
Yeah, all right. You go first because I want to see if we share this in common, if anything in common.
Okay. I will say that a lot of my movies are surprisingly post 1964, but there are two pre 1964.
Yeah, no, of course.
So in no particular order.
And before you do, I just want to say, like, well, everyone, this is all based on opinion. This is all based on, like, everyone has their favorite movie for any reason or another. It could have been a movie that, like, you grew up with, or it could have been a movie that you clinged onto in a time of, like, shit. So that's understandable. So go ahead. Okay,
so without any order to this, Breakfast Club.
Okay.
Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Good. That's actually one of the better Marvel movies of the entire run, I think.
Yeah. Goldfinger. That movie is perfect. Shut up.
No, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just... God damn it. Okay.
Doctor Strangelove.
Okay.
Fuck. Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters.
Okay.
A Clockwork Orange.
Very nice.
Believe it or not, Clue.
That doesn't surprise me.
With Tim Curry.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I love Clue so much. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Also doesn't surprise me.
Grease. I am a huge fan of Rizzo. And the last of my top 10 favorite movies, which nobody ever guesses correctly, is actually A Birth of a Nation.
Really? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
And the reason why has nothing to do with the content. It is really because of the cinematography. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Ku Klux Klan saves the world.
God fucking damn it. That's like alternative universe sort of thing, like Elseworld shit.
Although I will say that actually recently I have watched Birth of a Nation again, and I do have to say that a lot of it is good still. But I will throw another movie in there, Only Lovers Left Alive by Jim Jarmusch with and Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, did you hear, by the way, about the Guillermo del Toro thing with Hiddleston?
No.
He's doing a horror movie, and apparently they're saying it's like this movie is like the scariest fucking thing to exist, and it's like a haunted house movie.
Oh shit!
Let me find it. Guillermo. Okay. It is, before I go into my favorite. It's called Crimson Peak. That's it.
Ooh, I want to see that.
And it's got fucking Jessica Chastain, Charlie Hunnam, Tom Hiddleston, Mia Wachowski, Doug Jones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it looks... I gotta show you the trailer after this, because it's fucking great. We're coming to the end of the podcast, but I'll run through mine really quick. Mine are Guardians of the Galaxy, The Crow, I Saw the Devil, Her. I'm like looking through all of my shit right now just to make sure I got this. I feel like, did I say Old Boy right?
No.
Okay, Old Boy is easily one of my favorite movies of all time. And I guess I'll go with one more. If I'm gonna go with one more, The Prestige.
Oh, I do like Prestige.
That blew me away, that movie. Holy shit.
That ending was fucking whoa.
Yeah, no, because you don't expect it coming out of... You never expect that shit.
No, you don't.
Because it's like all about... It's like... If The Prestige is... If you haven't heard, it's basically like about... like two competing magicians trying to kind of one-up each other, and like the whole theme of the movie is what risk are you willing to take in order to succeed in your craft? And shit gets insane. That's... I think we can call that a wrap for Flick Talk for the first episode. Granted, it was...
all over the place.
It was all over the place. It was WrestleMania. But
yeah,
that's okay. So, with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. It's going to be on both of our respective Patreons. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. It'll be on the SoundCloud. So yeah, you got a bunch of places to listen to it. Let us know what you think. If you want to see more episodes, let us know. Anyway.
If you don't, we're going to ignore you.
See you in 2 weeks, guys.